All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new video, and this video is going to be my second video in my gaming PC build. And what I'm going to show you today are all the components I am buying for my PC. So if you want to build the exact same computer, you can do that. And in fact, I'm going to leave some affiliate links in the description of this video so you can get the exact same components off of Amazon like I did. And any one of these components that you buy is going to help my channel. And those links don't cost you anything extra. So I would greatly appreciate it, and it would help out my channel tremendously. And so those links will all be down there. You just got to make sure if you're building the same computer that you're getting the same stuff. If you decide to go with a different CPU or a motherboard, then you're going to have to adjust accordingly. But all of my links for this exact computer are going to be in the description of this video. So let's take a look at what I am purchasing. So first up here, we have the Corsair 4000D Airflow Tempered Glass Mid-Tower ATX case. So this case here is the #1 selling case on Amazon, and I really like the price. It is only $89.99. I actually got this in the mail yesterday. I'm going to be doing a build video on everything. And so if you are a member of my channel and you are actually a paying monthly member, I am actually going to release those videos one by one as I do them, so you will get to see them before everybody else. But I will do one complete computer build video at the very end when I have it all put together to show everything. And so this already did come in, and I'm actually installing some fans on the front. This tower comes with 2 fans. Just know this. There's one on the back. There's one on the front that brings air in. There's one on the back that puts air out. I'm actually going to take the one in the front, and I'm going to put it on the top in the back to blow all the hot air, and I'm going to have 3 fans coming in. Now, one thing I learned that I didn't know before, because my last computer kept getting a ton of dust in it, and I found that you have to have more air going in than air going out to keep the dust from being in the computer, because all the heat is going to push everything out. So you either want them to be close to the same pressure, or you're going to want more going in than are coming out, because you don't want anything being sucked into this computer other than the cool air to cool it. And so this gives you plenty of space to be able to do a bunch of fans. And I really like that. Now, this particular computer, or this particular case, does come in white. You can see down here that they've got some that can have an RGB front, which I don't care about. I just want it. Mine doesn't need to be aesthetically pleasing in any way. It's just my gaming PC that's not going to be fancy. I don't want it showing off any lights or anything. They have one with a red front on it, and they have a white one. So there are different ones that you can purchase. All of the options will be in that link that I put in this video. So the second thing here I have is the power supply. Now, for my build, it was suggested that I get an 850 watt. That's going to give me some breathing room if I need to add any more components to this computer in the future. But this one is fully modular. The Thermaltake is a great brand, and this will also be in the description of this video if you want to purchase this as well. And you only plug in the things you are actually using, which is pretty cool. Now, for my CPU, I decided to go with the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D 8-core 16-thread desktop processor. This is the #1 selling gaming processor on Amazon, and it is what is the hot seller right now for gaming. Now, I could go with a much cheaper chip. I could go something with, around the $100 range. But that's going to change the RAM and also the motherboard. And I'm doing this because I want something that's going to last me more than a decade. And this will allow me to do that. And it may go well beyond a decade, but this is the #1 for gaming. And I'm going to show you why I specifically chose this. So what I have here is this PDF or an Excel spreadsheet here. I'm mainly building this because I want to be able to play PlayStation 3 games on this PC. And my chip is this R7 7800X3D chip. It's in the S tier, and you can see that S tier processors that are listed here are the absolute best performing, far above what a PlayStation 3 can actually achieve. And so that is what is that's the chip I decided to use. I could go with something a little cheaper, but I wanted to make sure I'm getting the best performance on those PlayStation 3 games as well as any other games that I'm going to play on Steam or anywhere else. And so I found that this was the best all-around option. So what I decided for the cooling on this is the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE CPU cooler. This is what I'm going to be using for my CPU. They have other ones that are more expensive. You could do liquid cooling, the coolers. Basically, it's like a radiator. But I'm not going to go to those lengths unless I find that this chip is getting super, super hot. But this should be more than enough for my build. Here is the motherboard I decided to use. This motherboard does not have the greatest reviews on it. Overall, people have had some issues with it, mainly BIOS issues. I'll know whether mine does end up having issues or not here in the future. If it does, I'll send it back and get a different motherboard. But this is a pretty inexpensive motherboard. It does have decent ratings, 4.2 stars, but this is what was the #1 recommended motherboard for the chip that I'm using. Now, I may end up getting a board in the future that has more M.2 slots. This only has 2. You have the one with the heat sink at the top where the actual graphics card plugs in, and then you have another one down here for more expansion. I would like one that has more than that, but this will get me what I need because that case that I showed you guys that this is going to go in also has slots for some regular SSDs, not the M.2 type of SSDs. Here's the RAM I'm going to be using, the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 running at 6,000 megahertz. This will be more than enough for my build. It's pretty inexpensive, 32 gigabytes for only $114.99. That is a good deal. Now here's the actual internal drive I'm going to go with. It's a 2 terabyte Western Digital Blue. I've used numerous ones of these. I've had them in my Mac computers. I actually have one in my Windows PC in the room, and these work amazingly well. We don't need super high speeds for any of the games, on Steam or for the PlayStation 3. This has decent speeds. You can see there that it's up to 4,100, basically 4,000 megabytes a second, which is more than you would ever need for the operating system. There's really no reason why I would need super high transfer speeds. Like the PlayStation 5 runs on much higher speeds, but you don't need that for a gaming PC. It's completely unnecessary, so this is going to be perfect as it is. Now, here's the graphics card I decided to go with, and I'm going to talk a bit about why I decided to go with the 7900 GRE. I wanted a graphics card that is basically future-proof. And this is the cheapest card that has 16 gigabytes and will run most games in 4K and all of them at 1440p and very high frame rates. It's only a $549 card. This was never meant to be released here in the U.S., but it did finally get a U.S. release. And any other cards on the NVIDIA side actually have 12 gigabytes of RAM or less and do not perform nearly as well as this card does. And to get the level of performance that this card gives out, you're going to have to spend close to $800 on the NVIDIA side. And I didn't see any reason to have to spend that much money. So this is the card that I'm going with. It's going to be more than enough to run RPCS3 as well as any of the Steam games that I'm going to use. In fact, this is probably overkill for anything on Steam. But again, I wanted something that I can build this, and it's going to be good for many, many, many years to come. All right, guys, so there is the gaming PC I'm going to build. It doesn't have any major bells and whistles. That computer overall, the cost is right around $1,500 once you get everything. And I could tell you that if you go out to buy a pre-built PC with these kind of specs, you're going to spend anywhere from $2,300 up to $3,000. So by building it myself and just buying the components individually, I'm saving myself quite a bit of money. And anybody can actually put these together. There are plenty of videos on YouTube showing you how to put a PC together. I've built many PCs in the past. For members on my channel, I am actually going to start showing some of the stuff I have in my theater room for my arcade machines, like the pinball table I built from scratch, as well as the stand-up arcade, and then also the shooting cabinet that I have built from scratch. That one wasn't completely built from scratch, but I built the PCs for all of those from scratch. So I do know how to put PCs together, and I'm looking forward to getting moving on this project as well. All right, so what do you guys think? I will be doing another video in the future when I actually do the video. So the next video I'm going to do is actually the build video, and you can look for that in the next couple of months. I do appreciate the support. We will see you on the next video.